welcome
to Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
And this is the podcast where we tell each other stories like fairy tales and folk tales and mythology.
And also, you are here.
Welcome.
Hi, guys.
It's episode 101 and we finally understand what an intro is. Congratulate us. We'll hold.
Do, 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 do.
Are you trying really hard not to sing the Doug theme song?
No, I don't know the Doug theme song.
It's the da 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 da, which is I just sang it, and that's what you just sang.
No.
Roll back the tapes.
Oh, do I have to do
No,
something
that's
now?
where I'm gonna put it in.
Oh.
Well, welcome. This podcast is not for children because we're gonna curse a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's the whole thing. That's why it's not for children.
And also there might be themes.
There's some themes. There's definitely, mine for sure has some themes today.
Oh,
Mine's got some fucked up little themes.
Oh.
Yeah.
A couple of nasty little themes
going. Nasty little themes.
Mine doesn't have themes. Mine is just a fun, good time. So Janey really bringing it down for this episode.
Yeah, but then you're going to bring it back up because I go first.
Yeah.
What a good plan we just made.
Wow.
If you came to our live recording of episode 100, what's up? Thank you for being there. You guys had to watch us set up Zoom for like an hour. So
thanks for sticking with it.
They really did. And the whole time they were like, we expected this, which hurt a little.
I feel seen.
Yeah. At least we have set up a precedent that they should not expect much.
Yeah, we have set a standard of non-excellence.
Max, has anything happened since the last time we recorded? Which was anywhere between 5 minutes ago and like 2 months ago.
Oh. Janey punched herself in the face.
Listen.
I wrote this down in my notes on my phone to be like, don't forget, when we record the next episode, you have to make Janey talk about punching herself in the face.
Guys, I beat the shit out of myself because I was taking off my bra. And then I punched myself in the eye so hard I couldn't see out of it. I ran out. I had to wrap myself in a robe and run out with my hand over my eye going, Max, I got punched by myself. Oh, it was so hard too. It hurts so bad. Shout out to anybody who's been punched in the eye before. This fucking sucks.
Mad respect for people who've been punched in the eyeball.
You were laughing so hard at my pain. And then you said, I'm sorry. Do you want ice? And I was like, yes! I got punched in the eye!
I wasn't sure whether you were just telling me, you'll never believe what just happened.
No.
Crazy. Anyways,
No.
I'm going to bed. Or if you were like, I need to go to the hospital.
I was straight up injured. Anyway, add that to the list of horrifying things that happened in my 30s. Punched myself in the eye while trying to remove a bra.
It's an improvement from your 20s when you got so much jalapeno in your eye that I had to pour a gallon of milk over your head.
I have a lot of eye-related trauma. I got so many jalapeno seeds just stuck in my eye. I thought I was going to die.
And you might have.
Max straight up poured a gallon of milk over my eye. Anyway, okay, so that's something that happened and we don't need to talk about it anymore, so it's fine. Anything else?
I was the recipient of a porcelain baby leg at work.
You were. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's a chubby little porcelain leg. It's just sitting on our counter.
Mm-hmm. He's my little guy.
If you ever come to our house, you might see that. But you'll also have to watch all the Twilights. So, enter at your own risk.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, if this is fascinating to you and you're like, I want to be able to talk to them full time, or I want to see them live on camera for the next time they do a live show, you can certainly be there by joining our Discord. Max, tell them how they can do that.
Well, in order to join the Discord, you have to join the Patreon.
You gotta.
And in order to join the Patreon, you have to join the movement. We are beginning a political party. We will be planning on overtaking the United States government. And I do intend this in an insurrectionist way.
Well, you gotta run things by me before we just plan shit on this podcast. I'm so busy. But I guess. So if you want to be part of the movement,
That was all jokes. But if you want to be part of the Discord, you can join the Patreon and find out if we do decide to start a political
If that
movement.
actually is jokes or if we're just trying to legally cover our butts.
You can join the Patreon at the link in the show notes for this episode and every episode. At the $3 tier, you get access to the Discord. And at the $7 tier, you get a whole brand spanking new bonus episode every month that only our Patreon $7 tier listeners have access to. So join us on the Patreon. Come hang out with us on the Discord. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Yeah. How fun. Okay, and that was it. Have a great day. Cool. Well, Max, do you want to just jump in?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great.
Okay, let's,
Rad.
Woo! Let's do it. Okay, bye. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, okay. I just got a text from my wonderful TikTok mods who I love very much and we talk every day. But one of them sent a thing that said most of our politicians, or like a lot of our politicians in the US, were educated by people who were educated in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
And that is wild.
Yeah. Not a good thought.
No, it completely sent me spiraling just now, but I'm back. Okay, so Max.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So I found a story that I really wanted to do in the Brothers Grimm, which I feel like I haven't done like a straight up Brothers Grimm story in a while. And I was like, let me just crack open this book. And they're all bangers. They're all great. They're all weird as hell. The one that I want to do was way too long to do in just a day. Like I have to like actually go through and do a lot of research for, and I have to like parse it down enough to be able to tell it on the podcast. So I might do that next week. So I might have like a multiple weeks of telling Brothers Grimm stories. So get ready for that.
Nice.
The one I'm going to tell you today, though, is something that I have known about for a long time. And it's super fucked up. And I don't think I've done it on the podcast, but it's entirely possible I've already done this on the podcast. I don't think so, though. I might just be retelling a story, but I have more info if I already did. So the story I want to tell you today is The Brothers Grimm, The Goose Girl.
Goose.
I feel like if I did a goose story, we would know about it. So I don't think I've done this one before. But this is The Goose Girl. Ever heard of it?
No.
Okay, good.
Sounds like the store brand for Swan Lake.
It is exactly like Swan Lake. Get ready. The romance is palpable. There once was an old queen whose husband had been dead for many years, but she had a beautiful daughter who she was raising, so she wasn't lonely. The princess grew up, and eventually she was betrothed to a prince who lived very, very, very far away. So when the day of the wedding drew near, and she had to journey like a long way away, the queen made sure to pack her bags full of gold and silver and jewels and other priceless treasures as like a dowry, because she loved her daughter like more than life herself. But she didn't send her with like an army. She literally put her daughter and like a chambermaid on this journey to go alone with all this treasure. That's like the weirdest part of this to me.
That feels like she's setting her up to be robbed.
Right? Really weird. So, as I mentioned, she also sent the girl with her maid-in-waiting, who was to ride with her and hand her over to the prince. And each of them had a horse to ride, but the princess's horse was named Falada, and Falada could talk.
That's a Falada horse.
That's a Falada horse for you. Are you sure you can handle it? And she's like, vroom, vroom, vroom. Oh, I can handle it.
What?
And then she lights a cigarette and then like flicks it into the person's eye and then races off.
Cool.
Yeah. So the day they were to ride off, the old queen went into her bedroom, took a small knife, and cut her finger. And then she held up a white handkerchief, and she let 3 drops of blood fall onto it. The queen is witchy as hell. And she gave the bloody handkerchief to her daughter, and she said, "Dear child, preserve this carefully. It will be of service to you on your way." You know? So they hugged each other, and they cried, and then the princess and her maid-in-waiting took off. On the way, the princess got really, really thirsty. And so she asked her maid to dismount and fill her cup with some water from a stream. And the maid scoffed and told her if she's so thirsty, she should get her ass off that horse and get her own damn water. She said, "I'm not your servant," which is arguably untrue.
What is it? I told a Russian story that had this as a component, the like uncle figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yes.
Absolutely. The exact same. Actually, the whole beginning of this is exactly like that. By the way, we are drinking apple cider and we put caramel in it that has clumped. Doesn't look great. And that's the sip you just heard Max take.
I took a regular sip because I dumped it because I'm pretty sure that caramel was rancid. So I...
When did you dump it?
Like right before you told I got up and left. Where did you think I went?
Oh, I was already out too. Remember, I went and got my phone, so I didn't.
Yeah,
see
but you were already
get
back in here.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do I have no spatial awareness?
Maybe.
I punched myself in the eye taking off my bra earlier. So arguably no. Okay. So the super thirsty princess got off Falada and she bent down to drink from the stream. But she wasn't allowed to drink from her cup. I guess the maid in waiting was like, no cup for you. Slurp it with your mouth.
Drink from the stream like a pig.
Like a goddamn pig. And as she did this, she said, "Ah, heaven." And then the 3 drops of blood that were on the handkerchief that was like shoved in the front of her shirt said, "If this your mother knew, her heart would break in two." And she's
What?
like, "You said it, handkerchief."
What?
Yeah, the blood on the handkerchief just casually talks to her.
What?
But the princess said nothing, and she mounted her horse again. And specifically, the story is like, she didn't say anything because she's so humble. But I feel like she's just non-confrontational. Nobody's ever been mean to her before, so she doesn't know how to act.
Also, is that cryptic or am I just dumb? It seems really cryptic.
Does your handkerchief not talk to you?
I mean, I don't have a handkerchief, so I guess I don't know the rules. But
Oh my god, do you want me to bleed on some handkerchiefs for you? So you have a friend? Any friend in the world?
Please.
Okay. Guys, I'll be selling bloody handkerchiefs online. $10 a pop. My blood is not worth much. Okay. So they rode for miles and miles, and the hot sun was beating down on them. And eventually, of course, she got thirsty again. And so she tells her maid, she works up her courage, and she says, "Dismount and get me some water from the stream." And the maid's like, "Go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. I'll wait."
And then the princess pulls out a gun.
And so, again, and who could have predicted this would be her response? The maid's like, "Do it your goddamn self. Like, damn, who do you think I am? I'm not your fucking servant." And it's like, yes, you are.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, like, if it didn't work the first time, I wouldn't ask her the second time. That's just me, though. And again, the princess started slurping from the stream, and she was also crying because she was sad. She was sadly slurping from the stream. And the bloody handkerchief said, "Ah, if this your mother knew, her heart would break and..." And then there's, like, nothing else because the handkerchief fell out of her shirt and then floated down the river. I was like... But she didn't notice this because she was crying too hard.
This is what you're describing is the fucked up ring from the 10th Kingdom.
That's
You're doing the voice.
I am. I've done the voice a lot before, but now that you've watched the 10th Kingdom and you've experienced the absolute joy that is the fucked up ring that
God,
sings.
I hate the ring.
Now you're noticing
I hate it so much.
how often that fucked up little ring permeates all my stories. So the princess hadn't noticed this, but the maid had seen it, and she was stoked because now she knew that she had power over the bride.
What?
I don't know why. It doesn't explain this. And also, if you think that the drops of blood are going to come back, they don't.
What?
No, they just, like, floated down a river. So,
What was the point of any of that?
I really don't know. They don't actually help her. So the princess, I guess the drops of blood were a protection. My guess is her mom put like a spell on them that was her protection, and the maid couldn't actually do her any harm, but now she can.
Do the drops of blood protect her from Giardia?
No, she shits herself the whole rest of the way. Falada's pissed.
Yeah.
So, when the princess got up to mount Falada again, the waiting maid said, "Falada is more suitable for me, and my nag will do for you." And then she forced the princess to switch clothes with her, and she made her swear by the clear sky above her that she wouldn't tell anyone what had happened or who she was. And the story says, if she had not taken this oath, she would have been killed on the spot. So.
What?
But I guess it's like an unbreakable oath. It makes me wonder if the maid is also a little bit magic. That's just...
Also, though, is she new? Like, you're just going to send your daughter off with... It seems like she hasn't been her maid for very long.
Right?
Or something, like... Did her mom just not know who this woman was?
It's really weird. Okay, if I have to speculate, if I was like writing the Wattpad version of this, okay, they would kiss a little.
Oh my god.
But if I was writing the Wattpad version of this and I was like fleshing out this world, her mom wouldn't have sent her with like an army to protect her because the maid would have magic powers and be able to protect her. You know, that's what makes sense to me.
But why wouldn't you? I mean, like...
And then she was like, take these drops of blood. They're going to protect you from any outside magic having any control over you. So she felt like her daughter was safe. But then, of course, the handkerchief gets lost, and then now she has full control. That's my guess. But it doesn't say, like, the Brothers Grimm do not feel the need to tell us any of this. As she, like, makes her switch clothes and then gets on her horse and, like, threatens her life and all this stuff, the story says the most metal thing I've ever heard. Quote, "Ooh. But Falada saw all this and observed it well."
Oh.
So the maid, dressed like a princess now, mounted the horse, and the true bride mounted the nag, and they continued on until they reached the royal palace. And as they got there, there were celebrations all over the city at their arrival, and the prince rushed forward to meet his new bride, and he lifted her off of her horse, and thinking that this was the beautiful princess that he was to marry, he, like, whisked her away back into the castle. And her travel companion was left standing below, unsure of what to do while everyone left her, because she's never been a servant before. She doesn't know where to go or anything, so she's just, like, standing there awkwardly, like, nervously, like, wringing her hands. Mm-hmm. And that's it. So the old king, the prince's father, looked out the window, and he sees this dainty, delicate, beautiful girl standing outside, and he asks the bride, he's like, "Who is that girl?" And the bride says, "I picked her up on my way for a companion. Give the girl something to work at, that she may not stand idle." And then she leaves. So the king is like, "I don't have any work for her. Like, everybody in this kingdom is employed, apparently. Like, all jobs are filled." And so he's like, "I don't know where I could possibly put her." But eventually he realizes, like, okay, well, I have this little boy who tends the geese at my palace, and maybe she can help him. Now he'll have, like, a friend to go out with into the fields. This little boy's name is Conrad, and that is the most suitable fucking name for this awful little boy that anyone could have picked.
Love it.
Yeah, every Conrad I've ever met has been such a brat. And I've only met adult men Conrads, so, like, it really fits. Meanwhile, the false bride asked her husband-to-be to do her, like, a quick favor. She was like, "If you love me at all, do something really quick for me." And he says, "Of course, you can have anything your beautiful little heart desires. I love you so much." And she's like, "Cool. In that case, can you have a man come to the stables and cut off Falada's head? Thanks."
What?
Yeah. And the prince is like, "Your horse? Why? Cut off his head? Why?" And she's like, "Oh, he pissed me off on the way here. I don't want to talk about it." Meanwhile, we know, of course, he didn't actually piss her off. She's afraid that Falada's going to snitch.
Yeah, and she is. That horse is going to kill her.
That horse is going to fucking kill her. And she's like, "I have to kill Falada first." Mm-hmm. So the news of this order got down through the workers of the palace, who are like, okay, the new princess just fucking ordered a horse to be executed. Like, what the fuck? And eventually the real princess heard what was going to happen to her trusty steed. And so she goes to the knacker, who is going to, like, cut off the head. And what? The knacker. Knacker.
What's that?
It's the person who cuts off horse heads.
I don't believe you.
It's a job. Everybody has a job.
Did you Google it?
I did not. Knacker has to be somebody who takes care of horses. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
The only thing I can think of is, like, when you're knackered and you're really tired.
I was thinking of, like, the word nickered. Like, when horses nicker and neigh. Knackered sounds like that to me. Yeah. So she's like, "Can you do me a quick favor? Here's a gold coin. I have something really important I need you to do." And he's like, "Okay." And she says, "There's this dark gateway in the town. Twice a day, she has to go with her new job, taking care of the geese. She has to walk through this gateway. It's like a little dark alleyway that leads to the gate that, you know, you can exit in and out of the palace at." Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Can you please nail Falada's severed head to this gateway so that I can pass it every day? Could you do that?" Mm-hmm. And the knacker is like, "Sure, why not?" And so
What?
So then he goes to Falada and cuts off this horse's head.
Why?
And then, for the crime of being annoying.
She's a real nag.
I know. And then he nails it to the dark gateway. So early in the morning, when she and Conrad drove the flock out through the gateway, the princess cried out to the head, "Alas, Falada, hanging there." And the horse head opened its loose, rotting jaw and said, "Alas, young queen, how ill you fare. If this your mother knew, her heart would break in two."
What?
No.
I'm so scared of this.
And then they
I'm not good. I am no longer on good terms with horses since having seen the Brothers Grimm movie like 10 years ago. Me and horses are on shaky ground, and this is not helping.
So they drive their geese out to the country to this like little meadow, and she sits in the grass and she unbinds her hair, which was like pure spun gold. And Conrad saw this hair and he's like, pretty, and then tried to rip it out of her goddamn head with his sticky little fingers.
Ugh.
And so she's like, no, Conrad, get off. And he's like, mine, I want it.
Why does this baby have a job?
I think he might be 17 years old. Conrad is like a 9-year-old boy. Like, he fucking sucks. But the princess, as she's like trying to like swat him away and he's trying to like pluck out her fucking hair, she says, blow, blow, thou gentle wind, I say. Blow Conrad's little hat away. And make him chase it here and there until I have braided all my hair and bound it up again. And at that, she really didn't need the last part.
No.
It's like, you're so good at poetry, but then you always go too far. Just stop, shut up. It's like John Ralphio.
Yes.
When he tries to rap and he just goes too far at the end and ruins his rap, that's exactly what she does.
Yes, exactly that.
So at that, a violent wind blew Conrad's little hat off his head. It's horrible.
Get fucked.
His horrible little pork pie hat. And he was forced to run after it. And it like blows literally all over this meadow and he's just like, no! And he's just like running back and forth. And by the time he makes it back, she's already finished combing her beautiful hair and she'd already braided it and he wasn't able to get his grubby little hands on it. And he didn't speak to her for the whole rest of the day because he was so mad at her. Conrads. So the next day, guys, if you know a Conrad, I need you to write to me and tell me that you agree with me that they're always such brats. So the next day, when they were driving the geese out, she said again to the severed head, alas, Falada, hanging there. And again, Falada responded with his tongue swollen and hanging out of his jaw.
Blah.
Alas, young queen, how ill you fare. If this your mother knew, her heart would break in two.
I don't like the gnashing sound.
I know that's not in the story, but I thought it would add some spice.
I hate the spice.
You don't like the
I would
spice?
like less spice, please.
Wild. So again, just as before, when she sat down to comb out her beautiful hair that day, she had to get the wind to help her keep this terrible little boy from snatching her wig. So like real bad. He's just awful. The wind is like, you got it, princess. Work on your rhymes. And the hat is being thrown around.
I would just put this child in a tree. I would just put him somewhere high up that he can't get down from, and then I would braid my hair, and he would cry, and then I would take him down when I was done.
That's one way to deal with the Conrad. There are many ways to get Conrads.
I might not be good with kids. I'm realizing that this is like the third episode in a row where I'm like,
you said put them in a cage like the last episode.
Put him in a box.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Not a cage.
Just put him in a box. It doesn't have to be a small box. It can be like a room, but just put him in there, and then they can't come out until you're done with what you're doing.
This is why Carrie...
I'm not good with kids.
This is why Carrie became Carrie.
No, she became Carrie because those people were mean to her. And also because of her mom. But also
her mom locking her in a closet.
Yeah, but also because everyone at her school was a bully. It's a combination of things. It's nature and nurture.
What is school but a big box full of kids?
Yeah, and they can't come out until you tell them they can.
Yeah.
And that's the rules.
All right.
Welcome to society. We're going to put you in a box.
So Falada's head is expanding and rotting and bits are falling off and it smells great. And Falada's telling her, like, your mom would be so sad. So when they got home that evening, terrible little Conrad went straight to the old king and said, I won't tend the geese with that girl anymore. I won't do it. Fire her.
I feel like he has to be like the prince. He has to be like a nasty little prince or something.
No, he's just Conrad.
Or like a duke. Like a baby
He
duke.
did go straight up to the king and was like, I'm not working with her anymore. And the old king is like, why, Conrad? What's wrong? And he says, she vexes me the whole day long. And then the king is like, why does she vex you? And Conrad said, in the morning when we pass beneath that gateway, she cries to that severed horse head. Surely you know about the severed horse head. It's all anyone is talking about. And the king is like, what?
New for fall. Severed horse head.
Severed horse head. It's all the teens want to talk about. And she says, every day she says, alas, Falada, hanging there. And then the horse spits out this whole rhyme about her queen, her mother, the queen, would be so sad to see her now. It's annoying. And the king's like, oh, kids are so desensitized. This would have really got me when I was a kid. And then Conrad told the king all about how she controls the wind and how she won't give him any of her hair. And he said again that he wants her fired. Fired, I say. And then he takes his little pork pie hat and he throws it on the ground.
And he stamps on it.
Yeah. And so the king is like, tomorrow, go do your fucking job. That's number one. But don't say anything about anything, all right? Don't tell her that we had this meeting. Just go about your day. And so before they could get there the next morning, the king snuck into that gateway and he hid himself nearby to see her talk to this horse corpse himself.
Yeah.
And he
was like,
horse corpse.
And like a gateway is like a portal. It's the horse corpse portal. You know?
Yeah.
Horse corp portal.
Horse corp portal. Horse corporeal.
Corporeal horse.
So he sees her talk to this horse corpse at the portal. Then he went to the country and he hid himself in a thicket in the meadow and he watched the goose girl and the goose boy, TM.
Oh, what title of story?
Yeah. He watched them bring in their flock. And when she started braiding her hair, he then watched her command the wind to take Conrad's terrible little hat away so she could brush her hair in peace. And he was like, wow, Conrad does suck. Did she just command the wind and it listened? What the hell?
The wind agrees. Conrad sucks.
So after he had seen everything he needed to, the old king went home. And that night, when the goose girl came back to the castle, he called her to his side, and he asked, like, why'd you do all these things?
What's up? We haven't talked. What's your deal?
I really should have introduced myself earlier. Like, what? And the girl said, quote, I may not tell that, and I dare not lament my sorrows to any human being, for I have sworn not to do so by the heaven which is above me. If I had not done that, I should have lost my life, end quote. So he tried to get her to talk, but it wouldn't work. The goose girl was no snitch, right? Mm-hmm. That's her arguably best quality. That, and she can tell the wind what to do. Mm-hmm. So he told her, if you will not tell me anything, tell your sorrows to the iron stove there. And then he left the room. And so she crawls into the iron stove, and she sits there, and she tests out the echoes a couple times. She's like, hello, hello, hello. Okay. I'm so sad. And then she just started crying. And it's like, I miss my mom. And she was magic. And I lost my handkerchief. And the chambermaid was so mean to me. And I was so thirsty. And she tells her all about how, like, you know, the stove. She tells the stove all about how, like, she had to... And the stove is like, girl dinner. The stove is like, and the door slowly closes.
Carnivorous stove and corporeal horse.
Oh, fall in love. So she ends her sob story by saying, if this my mother knew, her heart would break in two, which is her mom's catchphrase, apparently.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no one was around to hear this story, and she was the goose girl until the day she died. The end.
Aw.
I'm just kidding.
That's a good story.
I'm just kidding. The king was standing with his ear next to this pipe that was hooked up to the stove, and he heard everything. So he came back, and he told her, like, get out of the stove, and then put her in royal clothes. And then he dressed her like a doll. It was really weird. Then he summoned his son, and he told him the whole story. And he told him, like, this is your wife now. It's a goose girl. And the prince was like, great.
What about my regular wife?
Sick. No, he didn't.
Do I have two wives?
Okay, so the princess was, like, beautiful and young, and apparently it didn't matter to him who he married anyway. Like, the wedding hadn't happened yet. So he's just like, great, you're my wife now. Excellent.
You're my wife. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
You're my wife. Boogie, woogie, woogie. So they held this big feast, and they invited all their best friends. And I had to rate the prince and the king's, not hers, obviously, because she doesn't know anybody in this kingdom.
Except for that dead horse.
At, like, not at the head of the table, but, like, a couple seats down from the royal party, there's just a dead and rotting, like, bloated, soft horse skull. Everyone's like, ew.
And she's like, stop, that's my maid of honor.
And everybody there has to make small talk with it. Okay. So, at the head of the table sat the prince, with the king's daughter at one side of him, and the waiting maid on the other side of him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and then the story says, but the waiting maid was blinded and didn't recognize the princess in her beautiful clothes. So, like, was she, like, super drunk? I honestly have no idea why she didn't recognize her. After they had eaten and drank to their heart's content, the old king asked the waiting maid to solve a riddle. What do you think the riddle was?
How many teeth are there? That's not the riddle.
How many teeth are there? He asks. And she looks to the horse skull, and out of spite, it, like, wraps its, like, lips back around its teeth. And she's like, damn it.
What is it? Like 28 white horses on a red hill. First they stamp, then they champ, then they stand still.
I'm counting my teeth. 28.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So I've never heard that rhyme before. I thought you were doing your own thing. But yeah,
really?
28.
It's from The Hobbit.
I like it. So the riddle was, what punishment did someone deserve if they were a dick to their master, if they stole all their clothes and their horse and their boyfriend, and they pretended to be royalty? Like, what should we do to them?
Also killed their horse. Murdered their horse friend.
And then executed the horse and spread a rumor that they were annoying on long journeys. Arguably the worst crime. So the waiting maid answered, oh, that's really easy, and I'm a great ruler. They should be stripped naked, put in a barrow, studded with pointed nails, and the barrel should be tied to 2 white horses and dragged through the town, one street after another, until they're dead. Obviously. And then she farted. I don't know, she just seems awful. And the king says, sounds good, thanks, guards, get her. And then she was murdered. in that fashion, being put in a barrel with a bunch of knives in it.
That doesn't seem like a riddle.
It's a classic riddle. I don't know what you're talking about. And at that, the young king married his true bride, and they lived happily ever after. The end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Goose Girl.
Goose.
Falada never comes back. So that's really weird.
Mm-hmm,
Also, I should have brought the book here. I'm going to get the book in a second. But the end of this story, you know how, like, in the Brothers Grimm version that I have, it has all these little, like, woodcut illustrations throughout and, like, little, like, thumbnail illustrations, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of this one, it's just a little picture of a squirrel with a nut for, like, no reason. Why? That showed up exactly 0 times in the story.
I feel like the new princess / queen, I guess,
Sure.
formerly held the position of Goose Girl.
Yeah.
Her best friend is a dead horse head.
Yeah.
And also she keeps talking about how she misses her mom's blood.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be their way of saying, she's fucking nuts.
She's a little squirrely. You're completely right. I assume Falada's head just stays on the wall. I assume
the rest of her?
He just rots, grinning on that wall, telling people that their mother is sad when they pass by.
You should call your mom.
Your mom would be crying right now. And they're like, my mom is dead. Morse. Conrad, I assume, was one day arrested for smelling women's hair in a market.
Yes. Or he got murdered by geese.
They just, like, beat him to death.
That's a goose thing to do.
With their feet. This is ATU type 533, the speaking horse head. I thought for sure this was going to be like black bride, white bride, you know, or like the false bride. There's like all of these like bride tropes, but instead it's like, no, this is very specifically ATU type 533, the speaking horse head.
This is my problem with the AT. I mean, I'm not saying that I know better than like
Arns Thompson or Uther.
Yeah, exactly. But this is my problem with ATU types is that I think that Uther had it closest with the motif index.
Yeah.
Because it, like, multiple motifs can appear in a story. And I think that's a better way to kind of categorize things than just saying this whole story is this one thing. Because I feel like a lot of stories, the way that they're formed is like, they will keep components, but if someone hears a cool story that they like, they might take a part of that and include it in the story the next time they tell it. So I feel like the ATU type, saying that each story is only one ATU type, I think is a bad way of categorizing stories. I think that the...
yeah, you certainly want it to be more in-depth because these stories are so in-depth. That being said, I mean, when they first started out, it was just a matter of like, where can we put this one story that you can find it again, you know? And to be honest, the thing that stands out the most is Falada's talking nasty corpse head.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, but it's also not integral to the story.
It really is. So that's something that bothered me with the story. The handkerchief never comes back, which is weird that the handkerchief was there at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think that my explanation at least fills in some plot holes, but I made that up. Mm-hmm. And Falada's head never comes back either. We don't know what happens to this horse. Falada also never talks, except as a corpse only to her. So, like, why Falada didn't... It's like, it gives you that metal as hell line. It's like, Falada saw and remembered. But, like, Falada doesn't, like, solve anything.
No.
Like, I read this a couple years ago, and I thought that I remembered Falada... The king listens, and I thought that the king was like, I wonder what's happening here. And Falada was like, your mom sent you here to marry the prince, and then you were tricked. And then I was like, Falada, like, I thought I remembered Falada telling the whole story. Mm-hmm. But I guess not.
Well.
Okay, so according to Wikipedia, in the 13th century, this story became attached to Bertrada of Leon, the mother of Charlemagne.
Oh.
Charlemagne was Roman emperor who united the majority of Western and Central Europe. That's what Charlemagne is known for.
Mm-hmm. And France, right?
Mm-hmm. Europe, Western and Central. Mm-hmm. Bertrada was married to Pepin the Short.
Aw, Pepin.
Pepin the Short. But the two were too closely related for the marriage to be legal until after Charlemagne was born. So he was technically kind of born out of wedlock. Eventually, their marriage was made official, and Bertrada became Queen of the Franks until her husband died, and then she lost that title, and her sons took it over. After not Queen of the Franks, but she just wasn't queen anymore. Charlemagne now has to become Queen of the Franks.
Frank Queenstein.
Frank Queenstein. After that, she spent her time basically breaking up fights between Charlemagne and his brother. That's like in the Wikipedia article, and I was like, that's hilarious.
That's really good.
Bertrada was called Bertrada the Broadfoot, and she was also called Goose-Foot Bertha and Queen Goose-Foot because she had a malformation of her foot. I think she had webbed toes. Like, that must have been... I mean, they're inbred as hell. We know that she married somebody so closely related to her that they were like, even we don't like that.
Even in the 13th century, that's pretty fucked up.
We don't like that. This is sometimes thought to be the origin of the moniker Mother Goose.
What?
Isn't that crazy? They think that it came from her.
From Charlemagne's mom? From Charlemom?
Charlemom? Okay, so this story is linked to her a lot of the time, and there's a legend that surrounds Bertrada that is very similar to this. The legend says that she was forced to switch places with her maid Alist, and then was given to two henchmen to kill in the woods. So she had been traveling with Alist and her squire, and they both basically conspired to put Alice on the throne. So Bertrada begged for her life, and the henchmen let her escape, and she ran to the hut of a woodcutter and his family. Very Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs style. Alist went on to marry Pepin the Short. And she was Pepin the Short. And she was a cruel queen, and she was hated by her subjects. And she had two sons who were just like her. Everybody hated them. Except that, like, 7 years later, Bertrada's mom was like, she's been away for a while and all the rumors are bad. So that makes me think that her sons are only like 7 years old and everyone's like, what dicks? They're a couple of Conrads. 7 years later, Bertrada's mother heard of her daughter's poor reputation and decided to come visit to see for herself what was going on. Mm-hmm. And Alice tried to feign illness to keep the queen from seeing her, but her mother forced her way in, saw that Alice's feet were not malformed, so I guess like she wouldn't...
And also she doesn't recognize her daughter?
So I have a feeling Alice was, like, trying to hide her face, and so her mom, like, looked at her feet and were like, that's not my fucking kid. Mm-hmm. And she was furious. So she sent, this is fucked up, she sent Alice to a convent. She burnt her mother alive, and then she hung the squire who had helped her. So she made Alice live so that she knew that people around her were being murdered.
Why her mom?
To, like, hit her where it hurts. Death wasn't good enough for her. She had to live knowing that her mom had been burnt alive because of her.
But...
it's fucked up. Pepin searched for Bertrada in the forest. He followed a white little bird that led him to the woodcutter's house. He asked her mother, like, do you recognize this girl? And her mother was like, yeah, of course, that's my daughter. And then the two got married. And that's the legend surrounding Charlemagne's mom's, like, backstory, basically. Mm-hmm. So, old Mother Goose.
Peppa.
The Goose Girl. Yeah, kind of a fun little...
that's wild.
aside. Yeah, right?
That's crazy.
I love it. I love it so much.
That's good.
Yeah. The Goose Girl.
Classic Goose Girl.
Classic Goose Girl. Can't wait for... I have a feeling we have a couple of people in the Goose Patrol. One of them's going to change it to Goose Girl or Goose Boy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, you explained this thing to me that's happening on TikTok right now of the strawberry girl, tomato girl.
There's a makeup trend where one of them, it started out with strawberry girl makeup. And it's basically just putting blush on the apples of your cheek and then across your nose. And then sometimes you add fake freckles. And they're like, strawberry girl makeup. And then another girl came out and she's like, well, this is tomato girl makeup. And it's like putting blush on the side of your face, like a lot of it, and on your eyes. And it's just like a lot of like sun-kissed bronzy tomato girl. And then everyone was like, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. We don't need that. And people got so pissed that they had made tomato girl makeup. So another girl came out and she was like, onion girl makeup. And then she just did normal makeup but called it onion girl. And then they were like, stop it. Enough. And then another girl was like, garlic girl makeup. And now there's just so much food makeup and it's pissing everyone off. And I'm so here for it.
I like the idea that it's going to transcend fruits and vegetables into the protein kingdom, and there's going to be
girl makeup.
Goose girl.
Goose girl makeup. We should make goose girl makeup. That should be something that Sort of the Story does, is make our own makeup trends.
Smoky eye, white highlighter on your whole face, and then yellow highlighter on the tip of your nose.
Yeah.
And also you have to put on pink lipstick and also put it on your teeth so that they look like horrifying goose teeth.
Goose girl.
Goose girl makeup.
And then Falada girl makeup, which is blood everywhere.
Rotting horse parts that you put on your face.
You put a fake swollen tongue so it hangs out of your mouth and you say, oh, girl.
I hate it.
You don't like the gnashing.
I don't like the gnashing.
All right. Well, guys, let us know how you felt about the gnashing. We're going to go take a break. Goodbye.
Hello, Janey.
Oh, hi, Max.
Hi, buddy.
Hello.
I got a story for you today.
Great.
I know, right? It'd be really bad if I didn't.
Yeah.
What if I just was like, I didn't do the homework?
What if you were like, I'll tell you the title later. And then wide-eyed you went, once upon a time, there was a cabinet.
And a microphone.
They were in love.
And they lived together
in sin. But they were too closely related. And the church did not recognize their union. They had a son. Glass of water.
The story that I have for you today is called The Gratitude of Samebito. It is a Japanese story. I have it in Japanese Myths, edited by Jake Jackson. Not to be confused with
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson or Jack Johnson.
Or Jackson Pollock.
Or J. Jonah Jameson. And his pictures of Spider-Man.
Jonathan Jackson.
Classic Jonathan Jackson.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
R.I.P. J.K. Simmons.
No! You can't say that. It's not true.
By the way, guys, Max killed the lead singer of Smash Mouth.
I didn't!
Max, tell them how you killed the lead singer of Smash Mouth. R.I.P., by the way, actually a tragedy. But please tell us your crimes.
This is payback for the bra punch.
100%.
Damn it. Okay. My ex made me download one of Smash Mouth's albums because they were like, it's super good, you would love it. And I downloaded it. I was like, this sucks, actually. But it was on my Spotify, and it's super inconvenient. It's really easy to download a whole album on your Spotify, but it's really inconvenient to undownload it, like take it off of your likes. You have to, when you download it, you can just say like, I want to save this whole album. Yeah. And then to unsave it, you have to unsave each individual song. Annoying. And so for literally 4 years, it's just popped up randomly on my like shuffled liked songs. I'm always like, I don't want to listen to this. This is bad. And earlier this week, I was on my way to work and I was stuck at a red light. And I was sorry, if you're a traffic cop, don't listen to this.
If you're a traffic cop, you have to tell us before you listen to our podcast.
No kids or traffic cops.
Yeah.
I was stuck at a red light and one of the songs came on and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this off. Like, I don't like this. I don't want it. it's like kind of a bad reminder at this point. And so I like unsaved the song. I went to the album. I unsaved like the first half of it, and then the light turned green, and I like kept driving to work. And I was like, I have to remember to take the rest of them off later. And then later that day, the guy from Smash Mouth died. And I was like, did I do that?
It took her years to finally just delete all his music, and the day she does that, we get the headline, lead singer of Smash Mouth dies. She's like, fuck.
First of all, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Second of all, now I just have the other half of that album saved forever, because what if I delete it? What happens then?
He comes back.
Oh no. I mean this with all the kindness and love in my heart. That's worse.
Yeah.
Than him being dead.
Finally escaped.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead now that everybody knows your shame.
Everybody knows my shame. Also, that album is not that good. If you like that album, sorry, but I don't. So don't email me about it. So this is from Japanese Myths, edited by Jake Jackson, originally from a Lafcadio Hearn book called Shadowings.
Ooh.
Which the problem about this podcast is that I keep seeing gorgeous like hardcover first editions of folklore books, and they're so good. And this cover is so beautiful. It's like a lily pond, and it has like, it looks like mist or like smoke across it, and it's this beautiful like cloth bound hardcover first edition, and the cheapest copy is like $190 plus shipping. It's like, god damn it. Anyways, it's a really beautiful hardcover, and you should check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. But the book is called Shadowings. It's by certified wife guy Lafcadio Hearn. Important also because this is going to happen at the very beginning of the story. In terms of the geography of Japan, there is an area called the Long Bridge of Sela, which is an 850-foot long, like handmade bridge that goes between two areas in Japan. So it's like a really long bridge. It's in the Shiga prefecture, and it leads to Kyoto. So in order to get to Kyoto, for a long time, you had to cross the bridge to get there. But it's like a really long bridge, right?
Sure.
That's why it's called the Long Bridge.
It's like the bridge from the bottom of Florida to Key West.
Yeah. Or from Savannah to other Savannah. The Savannah Bridge.
That's not a long bridge.
It's a pretty long bridge. I feel like 850 feet. That's probably 850 feet.
No.
Really?
Think of the one in South Carolina?
No, the one that goes from, like, River Street over to...
That's a very short bridge. The one to Key West takes you, like, a couple hours to get across it.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, the 850 feet is not that big. You thought the moon was a mile away.
I'm talking about... That bridge that goes to the convention center is very short.
Yeah, but like 850 feet.
But that's not a long bridge. The one to Savannah, again, takes you a couple hours to get across it.
Well, also, though, this isn't cars. This is walk-in times.
That still isn't a long bridge. That's not even it's like half a mile. That's not a long bridge.
Pretty long.
Guys, am I being bridge sizes? Let me know.
Yeah, it's just a bridge that goes to Kyoto. At a time... A man named Totoro.
At a time? Did you not want to say once upon a time?
Yes, I did not.
Some time ago.
Previously.
Previously in ancient Japan.
Yes, at a point in time. A man named Totoro, not Totoro.
Oh, I got so excited.
Totoro.
Uh-huh.
Totoro. Did you hear that it's not going to actually be the last movie that he makes?
Yeah.
Great.
Exciting.
Very exciting.
But it's going to be a bummer. Isn't it like a huge bummer movie that he's coming out with?
Probably. But also has a bunch of other ideas, and maybe they'll be fun and good. I mean, it'll also be good. But
make another Kiki's delivery service, you coward. You won't.
So Totoro is crossing the Long Bridge of Seta. Callback. And encounters a creature walking in the opposite direction.
Okay.
And this creature that he sees looks like a man, has the body of a man, like silhouette like a guy.
Sure.
But as he gets closer, he sees that he has like slate gray, almost black, dull skin, like a shark, all across his body. He also sees that he has a long, thin beard, like a dragon, and the face of a demon.
Okay.
And bright, glowing green emerald eyes.
Beautiful.
Right. Kind of hot. kind of hot.
I like a creature with a beard.
Tall, dark, and spooky.
Yeah! Tall, dark, and spooky.
Tall, dark, and spooky.
I've seen bigger bridges. Max. But this guy could get it.
But it's the 21st century.
This guy could get it!
I'm not saying that it's not like the Great Wall of Bridges. It's just a bridge. And it was long at the time.
Great Wall of Bridges.
The Great Wall of Bridget could be a really good indie album in 2007.
The Great Wall of Bridget could be a really good sequel to Bridget Jones's Diary.
Where she becomes a Chinese emperor.
Where she becomes a dictator.
Totoro sees this man coming towards him, and initially he's, like, afraid, but he doesn't want to stop because he doesn't want to, like, get attacked.
Yeah.
But as this guy comes closer, he sees that his bright green eyes have a sad look. It looks like this man is just miserable. They say that it's like he has so much pathos in his eyes that Totoro is like, hey man, what's up? And this spooky guy stops and he says, I am Samebito, which literally translates to shark person.
Oh.
He's a shark guy.
I'm just a little shark guy.
Baby. No, I'm not going to do it.
Little shark guy. do, 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 do.
He explains that he was once an officer to the 8 great dragon kings, you know.
Yeah.
In the Dragon Palace. And he was dismissed. Also, the Dragon Palace is underwater. Important to know. He was dismissed.
Max.
Yeah. I'm so excited for this story. It's the Maxist. He was dismissed from his position as an officer to the Dragon Kings for a minor slight. Like, he just fucked up a little bit, and they were like, get out.
I ate one girl!
One girl! He was not only dismissed from his position, but he was also banished from the sea, which is a problem because he's a shark guy. And if he can't get in the sea, then he doesn't have any shelter or food.
Certified shark guy.
So he explains all of this to Totoro, and he's like, so I guess I'll just die. And Totaro's like, hey, no, you can come to my house. And he invites Samebito back to his house. And he gets him set up. He has like a pond in his back garden.
Aww.
That's like a really big, nice pond. He gets him set up in there so he can swim around, and he brings him lots of fish. And they just hang out, and they're friends.
Do you think this is... No.
What?
Do you think this is like an inspiration for Shape of Water?
Hope so.
Yeah. Is this going to get sexy?
No?
In the Wattpad version, it will.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Hundo P. I'm going to tell you right now, this yokai,
Yeah.
I'm going to pitch as most eligible bachelor in any of our stories.
Excellent.
Yeah. This is my people hottest dude of 2023.
It's the Shape of Dragon Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Shape of Shark Guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still the water, so I guess.
Shape of Water. Shape of Water do Electric Boogaloo.
So Samebito just lives in Totoro's back pond, and they hang out together for like 6 months. They just kind of live together. And Samebito is hugely grateful to Totoro for taking him in, and they are friends.
Yeah.
He always says, like, thank you so much for taking a chance on me. And Totoro is like, you're so polite. Like, it's not really an imposition at all. And Samebito is like, I know, but I just wish I could help more. Like, can I cook you dinner? And Totoro is like, I guess. And then they kiss.
Oh, then they kiss!
None of that happens. About 6 months after Samebito moves in, there is, in this area where Totoro lives, he lives near Otsu, which is a town that houses the Midera Temple. Mm-hmm. And every year there is like a group of women who goes to Midera Temple on a pilgrimage, basically. It's like a religious, like they go there at a specific time, just a big group of women. They stay there, they worship, and then they go home. Mm-hmm. So this yearly pilgrimage goes to Madeira, and Totoro, it happens to be nearby as they are coming into town, and he sees this woman and immediately falls in love with her. Mm. She's the most beautiful woman that he's ever seen, and he's like, I gotta marry her. I just gotta.
I gotta bring her home and introduce her to Shark Guy.
Shark Boy.
Max looks like she just had something, like a revelation hit her.
Yeah. This whole time I've been in my head saying Shark Guy, and then I realized that Shark Boy is already a cultural touchstone.
Certified Shark Guy.
And Lava Girl. Oh, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Shark Boy loves the girl.
Oh.
That's the Wattpad.
That's the Nicholas Sparks version. So Totoro falls in love with a beautiful woman, and he's like, who is she? I've got to be with her. And he finds out that her name is Tamana, and that she is single and looking.
Oh!
And he's like, lucky me. I'm going to go ask her to marry me. And then the person who he's asking for this information is like, oh, hope you got 10,000 jewels on you. And Totoro is like, well, I certainly fucking don't. Why would I need that? And he's like, oh, well, she said that she'll only marry a man who can give her 10,000 jewels.
Good for her. Have standards.
Yeah.
Do you think she's talking about vaping?
Probably.
I like it. Good for her.
And they all have to be strawberry shortcake. I assume that's a flavor.
Is that?
I don't know. I assume.
Neither of us vape. I don't know if you can tell that by the everything about us. We don't vape.
So Totoro loses hope. He's like, well, she's never going to want to marry me because there's no way I can, in my lifetime, get 10,000 jewels. Like,
they're all sold out at the corner market.
Yeah. I could go to every 7-Eleven in 6 districts and never find 10,000 jewels. And he enters a period of love sickness where he is like so heartbroken that he can't be with this woman because he can't get a hold of all these jewels that he just closes himself in his room, and he keeps getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Aww. And finally a physician comes to visit, and he says, he like checks him out, and he's like, there's not really anything I can do because this isn't like a physical ailment that there's a medicine for.
Yeah, it's all in his head.
The line is, no medicine will cure the sickness of love. And so the physician's like, I can't do anything about this, and I'm really sorry, but you're super gonna die. And Totoro's like, that's fine. I'll never be with her anyways. And as the physician is leaving, he passes the pond, and Samebito's like, hey, how's he doing? And the physician's like, oh, not good. He's gonna die. And Samebito's like, what? And he gets out of the pond and runs to his master's quarters.
Yeah.
And Samebito,
His master.
That's what they say.
But it seems like Totoro is the one bringing him a bunch of fish.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like if anybody's the master, it's Shark Boy.
Shark Boy feels a little bit like a pet.
Shark Boy and Totoro. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's the weird Wattpad crossover you didn't know you needed.
That's the premise of my entire AO3 account.
Just Shark Boy and Totoro. Fucking. How do you say that on AO3? It's like Shark Boy X Totoro, like the cross, like the Hermione X Draco.
Yeah, it would be Shark Boy X Totoro, and then like probably like Comfort X Punishment. Content warning for food play.
There, I saw a thing on.
Breath play / gill play.
I need you to solve something for me because I was afraid to look it up, and I think I know the answer. Somebody was like, which Harry Potter like AO3 are you? It's like a filter on TikTok.
Yeah.
And they got like all these different things, and it like ends. It's like, what's your ending of your thing? Mm-hmm. And it said HEA, which I assume is Harry eats ass.
I don't think so. I don't think
it's like which dreary which dreary fan fiction? Like, what's your dreary fan fiction?
Mm-hmm.
I think HEA might be Harry eats ass.
Why would that be the ending?
It's like the
all the plot leads up to
all the plot leads up to Harry eating
all the
ass.
plot leads up to the backstory.
Hey! What do you think it stands for if not Harry eats? I think I'm right.
You know what? Harmony and elation.
HEA.
Oh, happily ever after.
Oh. How loud your slap was really fucking fried my brain for a second. You think it's happily ever after?
It has to be happily ever after.
What's wrong with me that I thought that it was Harry eats ass?
Could be one and the same. Who's to say?
Oh no. Oh no.
It could be happy ending parentheses ass.
Oh, guys, now I don't want to know if I'm right or wrong.
You're definitely wrong. It's definitely happily ever after.
I feel like
they don't usually have crossover specific tags. So like it would be something that it wouldn't be something with a character's name in it. If it was, it would be spelled out usually. So
he eats ass.
Hottie eats.
Hi, eat ass.
Help eat ass.
It's a handyman eats ass. That's a porn search.
Handyman's edible ass.
Handyman's edible asshole.
Oh god, my parents listen to this.
I'm going to be devastated if you're right and it's happily ever after.
It definitely is, ma'am. I don't know what to tell you. I am 100% sure that it is.
I can't in one episode reveal that I punched myself in the face while taking off my bra and also that I thought HEA was Harry eats ass.
I'm just gonna Google this for your peace of mind /
No, I think
and
you're
utter
right.
destruction. HEA meaning happily ever after.
Fuck!
But what's HFN?
Harry finds Neville.
HEA is happily ever after. HFN is happy for now.
Okay,
Like the graduate kind of situation.
HEA dreary fanfic.
It's not different.
I think it might be.
Why do I have to Google this when you wouldn't?
Because you have your phone in your hand.
Answer: HEA equals happily ever after.
In dreary fanfics?
Yes. In the misery of her period alone in the bath, at least until Draco Malfoy offers an alternative.
That she has her period outside of the bath. Does she stay in a bath?
Janey, I don't know how to prove to you that there's no chance that it's Harry eats ass. I feel like we need to cut this whole section and release it as a mini episode. But it's definitely not Harry eats ass.
Oh, I'm devastated.
I'm gonna break your heart. It is more likely that it is Harry edible ass, like an edible ass with hair, than it is that it's Harry eats ass.
No. Please just tell your goddamn story.
I need a minute. I just need to think about what happened here today.
I'm so upset. I should not have done this on microphone. That's one of those things I should have let be just something between me and you. Womp womp. By the way,
horrified eternally.
By the way, everybody voted on the Discord, and everyone thinks you're more likely to have sex with Lena Headey.
I'll take it.
I'm just saying, after this conversation, I have a feeling Lena Headey is more likely to straight up hit me with her car. Who's more likely to have Lena Headey drown them in a bathtub? Me.
Why would she do that? She's a nice lady.
She heard this episode and was like, get rid of her.
I don't.
More likely to walk up to you, pick up the top of your ice cream cone, and then throw it against the wall.
Stone Cold Lena Headey.
Stone Cold Lena Headey.
Can I tell my fucking story?
Yeah, please. Who's stopping you?
You!
Doesn't sound like me.
So, Samebito runs into his master's quarters and is like, Master, he said that you're not going to make it. And Totoro is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. If I die, I don't know who's going to take care of you. And Samebito's like, that's not the problem. You don't need to be dying.
He can walk.
Yeah.
He can get his own fish.
Where's he become accustomed to a certain standard
Where
of
is
living?
he getting all this fish from? He could just jump into whatever lake that is.
No, it's just a pond.
Yeah, why doesn't he just move to wherever they're getting the fish from?
'Cause he's an introvert. He's a homebody.
Aw.
Totoro is like, I don't know who's going to take care of you when I'm gone. Samebito is like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do when you're gone.
Aww.
And then they both just gaze into each other's eyes, and Samebito's eyes well up with tears that are like bright red, like blood.
Oh.
His eyes well up, and he just starts sobbing.
Aw.
And these bright red tears come down his like black gray face,
Yeah.
and fall to the floor. And as they touch the floor, they become rubies.
What?
Yeah, rubies.
That's so fucked up. In order to get rich, you have to make the shark boy cry.
Yes,
A lot.
a lot. And so immediately Totoro sees these jewels, and he like picks one up, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is the solution. I'm not gonna die. Like, this is great. This is perfect. I'm fine. Like, this is gonna fix everything."
Yeah.
And Samebito like stops crying and is like, "What happened? What?
Aw.
Why?" And Totoro's like, "Well, now I have all these jewels. I'm gonna go marry the lady." And Samebito's like, "What? What?"
So sad.
And Totoro is like scrambling around the floor collecting up all of these rubies, and he starts counting them, and there's like 8, and he's like, "Wait a minute, that's not enough."
He just sits
That's
him
not
down
10,000.
sits him down in front of YouTube and makes him watch that video of that dog crying over his master's grave.
Jesus Christ. He says, "I thought there was no way I could get 10,000 jewels, but your tears, I have a chance." And he's like, "So you just need to cry some more." And Samebito says, he delivers a monologue that I fucking love.
Okay.
Samebito says, "Do you think I can weep at will like a woman?" Which is bad, but the rest of it's fine.
All right.
"Do you think I can weep at will like a woman? My tears come from the heart, the outward sign of a true and deep sorrow. I can weep no longer, for you are well again. Surely the time has come for laughter and merrymaking, and not for tears." Where he's like, "I was crying because I thought you were dying, and now you're telling me you're not, so I'm not going to cry because we're friends, and I'm glad you're not dying." What the fuck?
Isn't this kind of the premise of the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Where
Is
they're
it?
trying to make that mermaid cry?
I've seen that movie 3 times, and I still don't know what it was about. I kept
Mermaids.
falling asleep.
I'm pretty sure the only thing that happens is there are mermaids. It like became my personality for so long. I
Really?
liked mermaids so much because of that movie. Yeah, that's like the premise though. Is they were like, we need her to cry.
And then they're like, "You see this puppy? He's sad."
No,
Pretty good, right?
That worked.
So Samebito says, like, "I can't cry because you're fine. And the only reason I would cry is because you're not fine. And you are. So no. And fuck you for asking a little bit." And Totoro says, "No, if you stop crying, then I'll die because I need your tears to have jewels to get married. And if I don't get married, then I'll be so sad that I die. So I need you to cry some more." And Samebito is like, "But you're not dying." And Totoro's like, no, listen, let me hang on. Let me start from the top. And Samebito says, "Well, regardless, I can't cry anymore today. I'm all out. I'm all tapped out."
8 jewels is all you get.
And he says, "But tomorrow, if you really want me to cry some more, we can go to the long bridge of Seta, and we can bring a lot of fish and also wine."
Yeah.
And
Have
then
a
we
date.
can and then I'll look out towards the Dragon Palace where I was kicked out from, my home that I can never return to,
Yeah.
and drink a lot of wine and be super sad, and maybe I'll cry if you get lucky.
What is the story?
He says, "Perhaps I shall weep again, thinking of my lost home." And Totoro's like, "Great, it's a plan. Perfect. I love it."
Totoro's a bad friend.
Totoro's a really bad friend. It's like, "I guess I'll cry. It's fine." So the next day they go out to the bridge with big ol' picnic basket full of fish and a bunch of wine, and they get super wine drunk in the afternoon. And then as the sun starts to set, Samebito finally looks out towards the sea and he feels his eyes prickle. And he looks over at Totoro and just sees Totoro waiting in anticipation. And he starts crying because he thought there was more than this, and there isn't.
Aw.
I put most of that in, but
What?
no, but it's sunset, And he looks out to the sea and he starts to cry, thinking about his lost home.
Yeah.
And his blood-red tears tinkle onto the bridge. And Totoro immediately starts scrambling around and grabbing all of them. And Samebito's like, I mean, I guess I'm fine.
No, don't ask me if I'm okay. Shark Boy's over here sobbing.
And then as the sun descends below the horizon, the last flash of pink as the sun sets sees the water rippling and then bubbling and then boiling. And then from beneath the ocean, a castle made of clouds, the color of pink coral, rises up. And this beautiful ethereal singing starts up. And it seems as though there is a language that Samebito can understand that Totoro can't. And Samebito says, the Dragon Kings, they're calling me home.
Oh, yay!
And he says, farewell, my master, the Dragon Kings are calling. And he dives into the water, he swims out to the castle burbles and bubbles and sinks back below the ocean. And Samebito goes home. And then Totoro goes back, and he puts all of the jewels in a box, and he marries that woman. The end.
Incredible! Weird! So good. I love that it's a full underwater castle story. Like, that's fun. I thought we were out of those.
No,
what a
never.
Treat. What a treat.
I guarantee there are hundreds more.
They're all from Japan. Japan's obsessed with underwater castles.
Yeah.
Love it. I like that it was like, okay, so one friend can't live unless the other friend cries, and then the other friend gets to go home. The end. That's just like what my sleepovers were like. What? A lot of tears, and then somebody goes home early.
Oh, that's really good. A lot of wine.
A lot of wine.
Oh, that's really, really good. So the Samebito is one example. It's unclear whether this is his name or like a class of yokai.
Yeah.
It kind of alternates, but Samebito is also interchangeable as a term with Kojin. Not Kojin, which is a different... He's the god of the hearth who is a misogynist. I don't know what... I read a whole story about it, and it was a bummer. But it's also called Kojin. These are yokai that are specific to the South China Sea, and they have this appearance of, like, dark gray, black, shark-like skin, bright green eyes, long mustaches, and, like, almost human but not quite faces.
Yeah.
And their tears become jewels. And in some stories, they're like pearls. In some stories, there's other precious jewels.
Pearls
and stuff like
would make more sense.
It
I was
would.
surprised that it was rubies.
Yeah. Yeah, very weird and specific, but very cool. So these are some characteristics of the Samebito or Kojin. Some other things about them is that they are prolific weavers. They are constantly at their wombs, and they weave this...
At their wombs?
At their looms.
Oh, okay. They're constantly at their wombs.
What? They had to go to their womb. They're constantly at their looms, and they weave this super fine silk that is so tightly woven and like fine quality that it is waterproof.
Ooh.
Which is very cool. Like you can dunk it in the water and it will not get wet.
That's what waterproof means.
Yes. Yes, it is what it means. Another note about the Samebito is that they are very emotional and they cry frequently.
Aww. So he was lying. He's like, I don't just cry whenever. Stop it.
Yeah, but also his feelings were hurt. I wouldn't want to help my friend by giving them jewels if my feelings were hurt. He was like, I just need some time to think about it and get over this.
To heal. And then he sits in his little pond and just weeps. Like a couple years later, they're draining the pond and they just find a whole floor of rubies.
Definitely 100%.
Yeah.
So what I want to pitch to you is Samebito as the most eligible yokai.
He's in touch with his feelings.
He's in touch with his feelings. Financial security.
He's got a cool beard.
Gorgeous eyes.
Beautiful green eyes. Our children would be unstoppable, or they would look like they were dunked in toxic waste.
Yeah. He has a skill. He is like talented in the trades and also has like a passion and a hobby.
And a job.
He has a job. And also understands boundaries. You know, like the Dragon Kings were like, get out. And he was like, heard, understood.
Heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, the main thing is just a guy who can cry. And I think that's really, you know, That's really impressive for him, that he's enough in touch with his emotions that he is able to cry, and even to be able to cry over a male friendship, which is really rare in modern media.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, you should up your standards if your only standard that you're caring about right now is that he can cry.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put him in the pantheon of eligible bachelors that we have encountered at sort of the story, along with the Black Flash, who can jump real high and hates the cops.
King Saleh.
King Saleh, who, I mean...
The baker from Rapunzel, from
Oh yeah, the chef
yeah.
from Rumpelstiltskin, as played by Joe Manganiello. The Wood Lady. And... Guys, who else is hot? We've had a lot of unhot guys.
It's mostly unhot guys.
I feel like that's not true. I've definitely said he sounds hot a million times.
A lot of times it's when people are bad.
Like the devil.
Yeah, like the devil. Bad. Like the devil.
Bad like the devil.
Yeah, I think he goes up there. I think, a lot of them are hot because of their actions in like adventure situations, but he seems like he's really stable in like a day-to-day way, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you want to live in an underwater kingdom apparently, and that's the place for you to go.
That's for me.
I
hate underwater.
I don't like underwater, but if it was a castle, possibly.
Castle, yay. Underwater, nay. I don't like the sea or fish.
Okay, but they always describe the underwater kingdoms as being like you get down there and you're suddenly dry.
But also my hair doesn't look good when it's wet.
Again, you get down there and you're dry.
But I just don't like being wet.
Okay, one more time. You're dry. Okay, Max, fantastic.
Thank you.
I loved it. I would like to end this episode by reading.
I would also like to.
I want to fucking.
It's over.
Let me go home. I want to read one of our reviews. Got some good ones in, and I'll read one today, and then we'll see. This one is from J.C. Bellino. It's called "Listen to This Podcast. Do it." 5 stars. Janey saved me from a blood room, and Max rescued my firstborn from the Baba Yaga.
Aw.
We did do that. So that is very cool of us.
Old. The struggle is so hard whenever I'm trying to come up with a name for a person. The only name that comes to mind every time is Jeremy. I'm like, old baby Jeremy. You can come up with a second name, probably.
Why do you need to name them at all? Their name
I was going to say like
Polino.
No. I mean their baby that I saved. I was trying to come up with a name for their baby that I saved. And I was going to be like, oh, my sweet god baby.
Old baby Jeremy.
Alexis.
No, it's old baby. Well, thank you, JC Bellino.
Say hi to Jeremy Alexis for me.
Say hi to your old baby named Jeremy. Amazing. Thank you. If you want to write an unhinged 5-star review, do it, and I'll read it on the podcast when they come around. We have a couple more. I'm going to save them for the next time.
Oh.
Yeah, exciting.
Ooh, little treat for later.
For everyone. Follow us on Instagram and join our Discord by joining our Patreon and just be friends with us already. God damn it.
God damn it.
We're so nice.
Send us an email about it. sortofthestory@gmail.com. Go on our Facebook.
How does this podcast end, Max? HEA.
Harry and they ass. All lived. Harry eats ass.
Okay, bye.
Pitbull. True name, Armando Christian Perez.
Sure.
Nicknames, Lil Chico. Mr. 305, which I assume is the area code for Miami, where he was born.
Makes sense. I was like, 305, almost the amount of time the sun takes to revolve around the earth. No. Pitbull's an idiot.
Pitbull, you're mistaken.
It's not me.
I'm sorry, I just saw a crazy statistic. He has sold over 100 million singles worldwide. I thought that was saying like 100 million individual singles. I was like, I know he's in a lot of stuff, but that's
Pitbull, you're doing too much. They can't all be good.
Pitbull, calm down.
Can you type in the weirdest fact about Mr. Worldwide and see if something comes up?
Pitbull
If you type in...
will never believe.
I was going to say, if you type in that, it's going to come up with weird facts about pit bulls.
What does Pitbull say in every song? Oh, Dale. Oh, man.
He doesn't... What?
He says Dale in a lot of songs, which is like, give it to me.
Gimme!
What happened to Pitbull singer? He's just continuing to be an artist. He has his own vodka brand.
What's it called?
Great question.
What would you call Pitbull's vodka brand? Mr. Drink05. It's gotta be something. It's gotta be a pun on one of his things.
Volley 305, you were right.
Oh my god, I'm amazing!
You're a Pitbull savant.
I am.
Pitbull fun facts. A bunch of facts about pit bulls.
What's the funnest fact about pit bulls?
Why are pit bulls so clingy?
Because they're big babies.
Pit bull singer, not dinner. Singer. Fun fact.
Pit bull dinner? Oh god.
Interesting facts about pit bull.
Okay.
That'll surprise you.
Please surprise me.
Pitbull is one of the biggest rappers of our time. He's so big.
He looks kind of small, but Armando Christian Perez is actually 7 feet tall.
His parents emigrated from Cuba.
Cuba!
He was once sent to Kodiak, Alaska.
Why? As like
By
a punishment?
Walmart.
By Walmart? As a punishment?
Yes. Yes. He supports children's education.
That is surprising. You would think with the amount of times he just says a couple catchphrases that he does not support education.
He even created a charter school called SLAM, Sports Leadership and Management. Come on and slam.
Welcome to the slam.
We hope you enjoyed reading these facts about Pitbull.
Sports,
That's it.
leadership, and management sounds like the spiritual opposite of STEM.
Mm-hmm.
Slam and STEM sound like two competing schools of thoughts.
Yeah.
One of which is like, ball is life and be the president. And the other one's like, science is gonna rule everything.
Just like in Space Jam.
Welcome to the slam.
Welcome to the slam.
Hey, okay. Well, I think we have all the Pitbull facts we need.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Internet.